people ask me all the time, do you stretch? Truth be told, I never stretch. Never, ever, ever. When I was a competitive powerlifter, I went through a stint where I thought I had to stretch, and that actually made me more injured. So, listen, I'm not at all saying that you shouldn't stretch. Stretching has its moments. But the most important element of your training contains the stretch component. Well, what the hell am I talking about? Whenever you lift a weight, your muscles are loaded with weight and then they release the weight, like a spring. So, or a rubber band, we put like a slingshot. We pull the weight back. There's tension on the band. We let it go. The tension is released. It's the same thing with your muscles. Every lift that you do, the muscle goes through a stretch and a contraction. So every time I lift weights, every time you lift weights, you're actually stretching and you're stretching under load. So let's take any lift at all. We'll talk about preacher curls for biceps. So we have the stretch. When we extend the weight all the way down to the bottom, we're getting a full stretch on our bicep. And then when we bring the weight up, we're getting a contraction of that muscle or a flex. So with every lift that you do, you always want to go through a stretch and a flex. And you want to constantly be reiterating that in your mind. Stretching and focus on the stretching and the control part of the stretching, and then controlling and squeezing on the way up, the stretch and the flex. Let's take another movement. Let's go through bench press. Whenever you do a bench press, you're stretching as the weight's coming down to your chest. Then you're contracting, you're pushing the weight up, and you're squeezing at the top. So the flex, and we're going to get contraction. Look at another movement. Let's look at squats. When we have the bar on our back and we squat down, we're eccentrically loading, we're stretching everything at the bottom, and then we're contracting to come up to the top. One more movement. Let's look at lat pull downs or pull-ups, right? At the bottom of a pull down, we're completely stretching. So our arms are completely straight, right? We're stretching out our lats, our back. And then when we come down, we pull it down and we contract. So every element, every bodybuilding element movement has a stretch and a flex. Now it's your job to just focus on that. Most people forget that. So a surefire way to hurt yourself is to take a cold muscle through a stretch before you lift it. So let's just say, for example, we're doing bench press today and you grab the railing of the machine and you jam and stretch your pecs, right? And you'll see people do this consistently in the gym. That is one of the worst things you can do, and you could get hurt because now my chest is cold. I'm stretching it, I'm pulling it apart, and now I'm going to go put it under load. Not a good idea. A better way to warm up for a lift is to do acclimation sets where you're building up weight. So like, let's say, for example, my working weight today is supposed to be 300 pounds on the bench press. So if I start with 135 and then I go maybe 225 and I kind of work my way up to 300 pounds, I'm taking that muscle under a stretch with that load in that same range of motion that I'm going to be using, and I'm stretching and contracting, stretching and contracting. So every bodybuilding movement, every movement you do in the gym has a stretch component to it. It's your job to focus on the stretch component and the flex component. And when you do that, you will get way more out of your training. And if you want to learn how to train the right way without all the other fluff, just click the link below for my free training program, Muscle 6, which is a 6-week muscle building program. And it's totally free. Just click below and you can get it. And until next time, this is Anthony, AB Fitness Center. I'll catch you on the next one. If you're interested in taking your health and fitness journey to the next level, be sure to check out my diet books and training programs. These resources are designed to provide you with the tools and knowledge you need to reach your goals and feel your best. Click the link to pick up my books right on Amazon.